A game they should have won in extra time.
Manchester City might feel the same about the week just past. So Phil Foden gets us underway with a ball back to Stefan Ortega. Manchester City's cup keeper. And a very solid deputy to Ederson. There's not much between them. John Stones, who will nominally be a centre-back, but we'll see him in midfield an awful lot. And Manchester City won't want to see him robbed like that in midfield.
Cole Palmer that came back and robbed him, but he is feeling his leg here. Cole Palmer already's gone down.
Oh, goodness me, that's a real blow for Chelsea. If that proves to be the end of him already. He's really not moving well as Ake boots the ball out of play, and Palmer's gone down on his haunches. 40 seconds. It was his first involvement, as you said, Stuart, with a tackle.
Well, let's hope it's a knock to the ankle rather than the thigh problem. He's just limping away here. He chased back. He's actually going to play in behind Jackson, and it looks as though we're going to see Gallagher play out on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Madueke stayed on the right. Here is Gallagher. Cucurella. Chance for City. Last-ditch challenge from Thiago Silva prevents it. Grealish then only just misses Bernardo Silva. Wasn't quite set for the pass.
Well, there was the last-ditch challenge, and what a moment this could have been. Cucurella passing it. It's not a good pass. Thiago Silva just about gets there in the end. Still got a bit of spring in those legs.
39-year-old legs. That one's intercepted. Only briefly. Kanji. And here's Madueke. Finding Jackson. Ake stays in front of Madueke and is happy to accept the tap to the boot and go down and get a free kick.
He has got a bit of pace, Madueke. Playing out on the right-hand side. Cole Palmer looks like he's okay at the moment. Hopefully it was just a kick to the ankle as he made the tackle rather than the thigh problem that we were talking about beforehand.
11 goals in his last 6 games. 4 and 1 alone last Monday night. Officially the fastest perfect hat-trick in English Premier League history. That's left foot, right foot and header. He had it done inside 29 minutes. Everton were done inside 29 minutes. Kanji now to power on, and he is just tapped and tripped by Jackson.
Driving forward out from the back, Kanji. We saw that in midweek, but he was playing in a slightly different role, one that John Stones is playing in today. Jackson just nicks his ankle there.
He's gone for it with the hair for the day. Maybe a bit of a peace offering to Chelsea fans after his part in the unseemly penalty row, the only thing that marred Monday night. I do think it was slightly overblown. All sorted out pretty quickly.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Certainly shouldn't have been the headline after a wonderful Chelsea performance generally. Thiago Silva and Kevin De Bruyne has got to him, and Thiago Silva again has to make one of those last-ditch interventions, and that was to atone for his own mess.
Kevin De Bruyne nearly finished it off in there. Really slow play from Thiago Silva. Shows they haven't looked very confident at the back right at the start of this game. The pass from Cucurella and that bit of sloppy play from Thiago Silva.
Might have been a clean sheet on Monday, but they have conceded 2 or more in 7 of their last 8 games. Cucurella. Bernardo Silva won it, but it was only briefly back with Sky Blue. The Royal Blue men have it again now. Cucurella manages to stretch and find Petrovic. It's the 6th Wembley meeting of these two great clubs, and Manchester City are unbeaten in the last 4. Chelsea having won the first way back in 1986 in the now long gone full Members' Cup final. 5-4 that one was. That'll do us nicely.
Another foul given away here by Chelsea. Caicedo on Grealish.
Rodri. With the sweep over to Bernardo Silva. Now Kyle Walker. Bernardo Silva. Enzo Fernandez is onto him. For the Benfica connection. Jack Grealish. Here's Ake. Grealish. Augusto, who's jockeying with Grealish, stopping a clear run either side of him. Won by Madueke, who picks out Palmer, and Jackson sidesteps Akanji really neatly. He's then stopped by Ake, and Michael Oliver's quite content that the ball was taken cleanly enough.
Well, a good bit of play by Jackson to start with, but also good from Ake, getting back, covering for Akanji. Much underrated player, Nathan Ake.
And another one, formerly of Chelsea. Never really managed to make a solid first-team breakthrough at Stamford Bridge. That's cracking industry shown by Gallagher, and the ball is through for a chance to shoot. And Ortega was ready for it from Nicholas Jackson.
Well, Walker's trying to claim a foul here, but both sides have been a little bit sloppy on the ball when they're trying to play it from the back. There's the first challenge, Gallagher winning it. Palmer with a really good pass. You can see he's onside Jackson. Just couldn't get it out of his feet enough. And you know that Walker's recovery run is always going to be quick.
He just lost his footing, slipped as he hit it. It's Nathan Ake on the left who was playing him on. Might not have been the only one. Gallagher. Cucurella. It was just behind Fernandez, and now De Bruyne will get it and try to run with it. Two after him. No foul again. The referee watching carefully. Palmer finds Madueke. Madueke against Ake. Ran out of room in the end. In fact, he was deflected. He's got a corner.
Interesting to see that Gusto didn't try and overlap him there. He realised that Madueke was going to go 1v1 against Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake is a good defender, there's no doubt about that.
Well, 8 minutes, Stuart, of you attack, we attack. Both teams looking good going forward and not so good at the back.
Both sides being a little bit ponderous when they're trying to play out from the back. Not sure Conor Gallagher will be particularly pleased that he's playing out on the left-hand side, but captain of the club, or captain of the team at the moment, will do the job.
Chelsea bidding to get to the finals of the League Cup and the FA Cup in the same season for what would be a joint record third time. Last did that 2 years ago, losing both finals to Liverpool. Gallagher in. Thiago Silva couldn't do anything with it. Grealish has done what he had to do with it.
He's quite often the target, Thiago Silva, for those balls played into the box from set plays. Much better in the air than he's recognised for Thiago Silva.
Score when these sides met at Stamford Bridge in November, a magnificent 4-4 draw. Here's De Bruyne. And he wins a corner.
De Bruyne is the player that's got that little bit of freedom to go anywhere he wants at times. He'll start through the inside right position, but he will drift to the left. He will go out wide with Bernardo Silva to create the overload. He's won a corner for his team here.
There's John Stones going. His one goal this season came from a really clever near post corner at Liverpool. De Bruyne took that one, and he's on hand here for Alvarez, who's now going to deliver. It's gone to the back. think it was kept in by Rodri, but it's easy enough for Petrovic. Chalobah. Just seems to give an air of extra solidity to Chelsea. Trevor Chalobah having been ruled out all the way until February this season. Or what's Petrovic doing here? There's not much solid about that. They've got out of it, but for how long?
Got to say, Caicedo did really well there to handle that. Kevin De Bruyne was closing him down. The only path he had was to get it absolutely right and whip it round the corner. They're asking for trouble if they play out from the back like that, Chelsea.
Here's Rodri. Alvarez comes back to collect it, but he's lost it now. And Palmer's had a go. Didn't quite get the elevation, but he just instantly knew where Ortega would be. Now Alvarez in that pocket again, and freeing Bernardo Silva. Cucurella's quick enough.
He didn't quite get the angle of the pass right, Alvarez. He was the player caught on the ball and allowed Cole Palmer to try that audacious attempt.
That's the mark of a confident player, isn't it?
He knew exactly where the goalkeeper was. Had he made better contact and got that elevation you were talking about, Ortega was 10 yards outside his box.
Slight lapse in concentration for Bernardo Silva, but it's followed by one from Fernandes, out for a City throw.
We were talking about John Stones playing in midfield at times, but Akanji's done it on 2 or 3 occasions now, and John Stones has gone that little bit deeper. He could be swapping that role throughout the game.
Yeah, Akanji's in there now. Pep Guardiola does like him to do that. A lot of Manchester City supporters tend to feel that he's not as good at it. Oh, it's a slip from Walker. Gallagher, Manchester City have numbers back. And Jack Grealish has stopped him at the cost of a corner. And it's not just Chelsea's defenders. Kyle Walker slipping, sliding and losing focus.
Well, the ball was smashed across to him and he slipped over as he tried to chest it down. He's got such a good recovery run. He makes Gallagher go back, and Gallagher then plays it wide. Gusto wasn't quite creative enough to beat Jack Grealish here.
Gallagher on the corner. You never went in for holes in your socks, did you?
I'm not sure anybody did.
Quite a new innovation, but plenty of players do it. Let the calves breathe. Gallagher, flat. Not intentional. It's the bugbear of many a football watcher worldwide. Foden. Nicely collected by Alvarez. Up against Malo Gusto. He's nibbling away at him, but he finds a way to De Bruyne. And De Bruyne has threaded it through. It's Phil Foden! Headed up by Cucurella. Grealish. Akanji. And he's sold Grealish short. It's going to go out for a Manchester City corner. Phil Foden was so close to a Manchester City goal.
Well, I talked about Kevin De Bruyne's passing ability. Just watch this here. How does he see this pass? It's absolutely brilliant. Foden breaks the offside line. He does well to go past the goalkeeper, then just has to play it back into a decent area.
And De Bruyne's got that one wrong. For once. Started as he means to go on, though.
What a pass and what a good run from Phil Foden. Playing more centrally today than he did in that first half of the game against Real Madrid. His touch had to be that big to get away from the goalkeeper. Now he's running out of space, and all he can do is just wrap his foot round it. Cucurella back in a decent position.
So Foden's been grabbing all the headlines, and rightly so, in the English Premier League lately. He's been upstaged in the build-up to this one by his former teammate Cole Palmer. Won by City. Grealish. Ake. Jackson's still on the floor here. And And it's Akanji who will delay it. City fans are booing that, but I think Chelsea will appreciate it.
And the Chelsea fans were asking Jackson to pass it a bit earlier here. There's a couple of runners in front of him. Cole Palmer was one, Madueke was another. It's Kevin De Bruyne that got back and made the challenge. Referee didn't see it as a foul.
Well, it is Chelsea's throw, but I'm sure they'll do the right thing. Palmer does throw it to Stefan Ortega. Manchester City, the first team to be in a 6th FA Cup semi-final in a row. History making in all competitions since Pep Guardiola's arrival. Grealish. Ake. Grealish ignored the first run of Kevin De Bruyne. Had to stretch when he got the ball back. And that will be a foul. Wrong angle for the tackle.
And apart from that, really good pass that he made for Foden. He's had a great start to the game, Kevin De Bruyne. He gave the ball away, it was a short pass to Jack Grealish, and then the tackle wasn't a good one. Madueke just turns away from him. You can see he's nowhere near the ball in the end.
Tackle that risked injury to himself. He was a little caught out by Madueke's movement to the right. Barred the way. He was never getting through to the ball anyway. Chalobah to Petrovic. Wasn't the cleanest of kicks. Palmer. Little touch on for Jackson. Jackson will now try and run John Stones, and he's doing a good job of it. Right, left, nobody there. Nicholas Jackson couldn't have done a lot more. Madueke. Gusto. That's going to sail over the head of Madueke. Manchester City throw-in.
Well, that will be a worry, I think, for Manchester City and John Stones in particular. Just ran past John Stones so easily. Eventually Stones gets back at him here, but he still couldn't get a challenge in. That was the second bit of the play. Nobody coming round the back.
Caicedo into the challenge. Out it goes for another City throw. Jackson, a player who seems to split opinion. He has got 13 goals in his first Chelsea season, and he's only 22. He's still learning the game in many ways. He's a substitute more often than he started for Villarreal before he came to West London. There's a lot of talent in there.
His talent, his explosive power, he's quick. Has he got an end product? That's what the Chelsea fans are hoping that he develops.
He was making the breakthrough in Spain. He was given the tag the Senegalese Neymar. It wasn't just for his ability, there's a few temperament issues too. That's Grealish finding Alvarez, no way through, he might find one. He actually pings it against De Bruyne, and the flag's up for offside anyway.
Yeah, De Bruyne made the run for him. It ended up being offside, but good play from Alvarez. Well, he's got a bit of pace, he's got good movement, but just shows here he can manipulate the ball. Gets himself turned, gets it onto his left foot, and there you can see Kevin De Bruyne standing a yard or two offside.
It's the cue for a booming chorus of Blue Moon. Pep Guardiola was naturally disappointed, but remained philosophical about going out of the Champions League. There's Palmer. Won't want to lose 2 trophies that they had in their possession in the space of a few days. Just a reminder to all of us that it's sport. You can have so many shots, you can have all the possession, it doesn't mean you'll win.
That's exactly what he was saying before the game. And asked whether he was disappointed. No, I'm not disappointed. We actually played very well. We did everything we could.
Game played by humans, not algorithms.
Yeah, maybe a change by Pep Guardiola. Akanji then picked up Jackson. And Stones went into midfield.
I don't think many City fans will be disappointed to see that. Something that they first started with Alex Zinchenko when he was at the club. Not really a left-back, preferred to play in midfield, so that's where he went.
And having just said that, they've swapped over again. Akanji's got into midfield. And
they
Stones...
will mix and match. If Rico Lewis had been at right-back, he might have joined in too. He's on the bench. Stones wants an option, and Akanji was it. Foden. It's a trip by Fernandes on Rodri.
He was beaten by the little quick pass into Rodri, and Rodri's first touch took him beyond Fernandes.
It's Rodri's 250th game for Manchester City. He scored at home and away against Chelsea in the Premier League this season. Incredible engine. Here's Grealish. Skipping past Gusto. And delivering a decent ball in. It was Alvarez who nearly cushioned it down into Foden's path. Jackson, it's another clever, cute turn. Seen 3 of those from him already. Enzo Fernandez keeps it away from Bernardo Silva twice. Jackson. Back comes Foden. And it is back with Ortega thanks to Rodri. It's a day of living dangerously at both ends. Ake finds Akanji. De Bruyne. Grealish. Back with Rodri. Again, the usual cry of shoot comes up, but he rarely does, and he's given it away. Palmer on his way. Jackson. Madueke. Jackson. Oh, he made a lovely run. Madueke didn't see him. It won't go through to Gallagher. Foden down to Rodri. Rodri with the ball on for De Bruyne. Had to wait for it. Dealt with superbly by Malo Gusto. Madueke. Malo Gusto. Ake stayed in the way, and Malo Gusto had gone just a fraction too early, offside.
A combination, he went a fraction too early and the ball wasn't played quickly enough. But I do think that Kevin De Bruyne looks slightly jaded at the moment. There's been 1 or 2 occasions where he's had the ball taken off him quite easily. Times when he could have run with the ball and he's turned back. Big game for Pochettino here.
He's lost in both previous FA Cup semi-finals that he's been a manager in, 2017 and 18 with Spurs, and his only previous semi up against Pep Guardiola, the Champions League with PSG 3 years ago. Grealish. Here's Rodri. Bernardo Silva. It's Walker who pops it into the box, straight into the head of Thiago Silva.
Not quite a good enough cross. Grealish was trying to get in between the centre-halves and the full-back. Kevin De Bruyne has come really wide out on this left-hand side. Going through the inside right position.
Grealish just a little look towards De Bruyne, who's got it now. He was out on his feet in the closing stages on Wednesday. Asked to come off in the end. There's a bit of debate about why he or Haaland weren't on the field to take penalties, but I don't think they could have done. They were shattered. Now Rodri, Enzo Fernandez, and he's not the only one, quickly into Rodri every time he's on the ball.
Well, he just catches Rodri. Rodri's so good at shielding the ball and turning away from players that are trying to win it back off him. Oh, just overstretched as well there.
Yeah, that would have nipped the groin a bit. De Bruyne, and it's Jackson who puts it behind. Manchester City corner.
And Nathan Ake was coming in on that one. Good bit of defending by Jackson.
Alvarez has given the signal. De Bruyne is on hand again. Palmer's close by in the deeper blue. Alvarez with a deeper corner. Bernardo Silva happy to let it run. Back to Rodri. Grealish. Grealish into the middle. Pump back across and Petrovic scrambles away and the flag's up again.
Well, what a chance if he was onside, Bernardo Silva. The assistant's given offside against somebody. And it was a good ball played in by Jack Grealish. Switch of play from Rodri. Let's have a look at the run.
It's Foden.
It's Foden that's offside. He made an attempt to go for the ball. That's why the assistant put his flag up.
Petrovic straight down the middle. I don't think he intended that. He's just put his hand up to apologise. I think Madueke was his target to get him running.
Had he dinked the ball into the front there, it was Jackson against Stones in a big area of the pitch.
De Bruyne.
Well, Akanji's almost standing midfield at times, even when they're defending.
You highlighted Stuart De Bruyne coming over to the left. He's drifting infield again now, but what do you think the reason for that is?
He was frustrated he wasn't getting involved in the game. He's allowed Foden to go over to the other side. They're trying to create maybe a 2v1 against Gusto. Seeing how far Madueke wants to go back.
That's what we were talking about before the match, isn't it? You try and put a formation down on paper for Manchester City. It's virtually impossible to do.
Got to second guess Pep Guardiola,
and nobody can do that.
And also he changed it throughout the game. And De Bruyne is usually the player that is involved in any sort of change.
Caicedo allowed it to go for Thiago Silva. That looked risky, but they were in constant communication. And now it's up towards Jackson, and he's in on Ortega. City have players back, Chelsea have players arriving, and Jackson really has made a bit of a mess of that. He's not going to get a free run like that too many times.
Well, the person that made a mess of it to start with was John Stones. This is a really poor defending. We'll wait until we see the replay. We'll highlight John Stones trying to play him offside. What a miss from Jackson.
You've got to take on the keeper and beat him when he's on his way out to you, surely. Would have heard the players thundering up behind him. Well, here's Palmer. Here's Cucurella. And Ortega gratefully pounces on the ball.
Good play from Chelsea. But what a chance for that man there. But he's certainly got the beating of John Stones. I think Guardiola would be well advised to change him around with Akanji. Akanji's got more pace than John Stones. That would be a big worry for me.
Here's Grealish as Manchester City try and stretch Chelsea at the other end. And De Bruyne is going to try and get there. Gusto tried to stop him. The cover came in from Chalobah behind him.
Well, that was good energy from Kevin De Bruyne. Did give Gusto a little bit of a nudge there. Chalobah, here's the run. John Stones has got it all wrong. Jackson has to take the player on.
There's Grealish. And it was Gallagher who made sure he got in just in front of Akanji in the box. It's coming to life, this semi-final now.
A couple of big chances. Kevin De Bruyne was half a chance. Chalobah did really well.
De Bruyne. Ake still on hand. Akanji. Ake wasn't ready for it.
Didn't see him get forward that often, Nathan Ake, but that was half a chance had he got his touch right.
Saying about it's hard to read his mind, sometimes the body language too. That body language tells a story. He's happy enough. I think Pep would approve Catalan coloured popcorn. But he looks, looking at the City coach there, he's prowling. I think you can tell when he's enthused with his team's performance, and I don't think he is right now.
No, I think there's one or two issues that he won't quite be happy with. One is Stones up against Jackson. He seemed to still be leaving him 1v1 in a big area, and Jackson's beaten him 3 or 4 times already.
Does that come back to what we were saying about Jackson earlier? I'll pick that up in a minute, because Grealish has picked up the ball in the Chelsea half, given it again. Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Walker. Foden. Cucurella. He says he played it against Foden, and the assistant referee Stuart Burt agrees with that view. Goal kick. Just going to ask you, Stuart, does it come back to Jackson again? All that talent, but still in his development as a footballer, decision-making.
Decision-making, and he ran too straight at the goalkeeper to start with. If he runs at an angle to the goalkeeper then has to go one way, and you can either, he doesn't work quickly enough, you pass it in one corner. If he starts to go across, you then lift it over him and put it in the other corner. But by running straight at him, it made it easy for Ortega to defend against him.
Okay. Stones. Bernardo Silva. Walker to Stones. Grealish has got acres on the left. Rodri's seen him. There's no way through to him. Akanji holds off one challenge, not the second, but Rodri's there to help him out. Bernardo Silva. He's gone to try the curl into the top corner. He's quite a way away with it. Not his best, not as bad as his penalty the other night, but not his best.
Yes, well won by Rodri. Cucurella backed off and backed off. That's why Bernardo Silva was trying to bend it into the far corner. As you said, he got it all wrong. Poor effort. A very talented player.
He's responsible for Manchester City being here today, with both goals in the quarter-final win against Newcastle, both deflected in. Malo Gusto. Grealish it is who's got to try and stop him. He's gone for the early pass. Walker was onto it. Here's Madueke. Great block by Stones. Chelsea having the better chances here.
They certainly are, and that was just one ball played forward. Oh, here's a bad pass as well by De Bruyne.
Stones had to switch on suddenly. He was not expecting that.
Here's the ball played forward. Really good play. This pass didn't have enough on it. Walker did well to get back, but Madueke has to hit that first time. If he hits that first time, he's given the goalkeeper a problem. And then Stones got back, as you said, and made a really good challenge.
Well, Michael Oliver wants another ball. All the air's gone out of the first one. Stones seems to be struggling here.
Fitness-wise, I'd say more than anything else.
He's really been blowing and taking in big lungfuls of air over the last 20 seconds since making that block.
Well, I think he's been rattled by the pace of Jackson so far in the game.
Rodri goes on and was off balance as he took on the shot.
Well, there's many other times when you think he could shoot and doesn't, and that probably wasn't the right decision on that occasion.
Both of these sets of supporters no strangers to visiting Wembley. Chelsea 30 times since this great home of football was redeveloped, more than any other team. Not always going home happy in recent times. I think they'll be quite content with seeing their team play like this today and create more chances. Another one coming, but Caicedo's lost possession. He nearly got a second bite at it. Madueke waited for it to come down. Here's Gusto. Chalobah. Madueke. Chalobah able to move onto the ball unchallenged. Palmer. Lovely shift. Palmer goes for it. Ortega saves. Might have looked an easy save. That's a really good stop.
But also brilliant from Cole Palmer. Rodri nearly tried to bring him down as he went past him.
Chelsea get the throw. Gallagher, no, it's been overruled. It was Gallagher on Ake. The assistant Dan Cook right there, he gave it to Chelsea, and it's Michael Oliver who said no, it's City's.
Watch how Rodri just puts his arm out here. Really good play from Cole Palmer. Thought he could pass it in the corner.
Rodri a little bit fortunate.
That's a good bottom hand from Ortega. Jack Grealish is lucky to get away without getting a yellow card. He really did give the assistant referee a load of abuse there, which you may just have heard on your mic, and apologise for that.
I wondered whose that voice was. The accent gave him away. He's just had another angry look towards Dan Cook as Jack Grealish. Walker. Bernardo Silva. Stones. Rodri. Walker. De Bruyne over to the right. First time he's been over there for a while. Opted for the early ball, and it wasn't the right choice.
You see what he was looking to do, bend it in behind Thiago Silva for the run of Alvarez. The ball he usually plays for Erling Haaland. It's a great effect.
Cucurella. Chalobah. Palmer's flick went straight to Foden. Rodri takes over. And Cucurella bars the way for Bernardo Silva.
He read it perfectly, didn't he, Cucurella? Bernardo Silva was going to try and run inside of him for the pass of Rodri, and he just stepped into him. Gets a pat on the backside from Pochettino as he goes past him.
I think he's playing his best football since becoming a Chelsea player over the last few weeks. Player who Manchester City coveted for making the move to West London from Brighton. City have effectively played without an orthodox left-back for quite a while now. It was Zinchenko, and then it's been Ake and Guardiola, and occasionally Akanji.
The problem as he had, Cucurella, when he came. They started to play him as the third centre-half.
Now Madueke stretches his legs and keeps the ball in. Twice. Gusto, nobody at the back, and Walker can cushion it back to Ortega, and Ortega puts both hands up by way of apology. He didn't get his head up.
I think it's been a good first half for Chelsea. They've created one or two good opportunities. They've played out from the back much better in the last 20 minutes. That last attack they had down the left-hand side was really good play.
Now, wouldn't we normally, Stuart, against Manchester City, say they'll rue not taking chances, but I'm not so sure today, because City aren't going to get any fresher after all the effort they put in on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Usually when we're watching a game that Man City are involved in, you're looking down the opposite end of the field where they've got most of the possession, where they've controlled the ball. I'm not sure that's been the case here.
Do you think we are seeing Wednesday night have an effect?
Absolutely. Likes of Kevin De Bruyne. We haven't seen Foden really get involved in the game that much, apart from that little run he made. And there's another opportunity for Grealish to try and go down the outside, but he didn't want to. He wanted to come back again.
To Rodri. Walker. It's as far forward as we've seen Kyle Walker. Didn't stay there for long. Foden finds Grealish. Grealish gets closer to the box, brings in Foden. There's De Bruyne. All a bit too intricate. Manchester City try and push again. Alvarez is pushed. Rodri finds Foden. And Foden is tripped. Free kick City. Good position for it. It's Caicedo's challenge.
He's very aggressive in the challenge, Caicedo. He's the most defensive of Chelsea's midfield players, and it's not a great challenge. Foden was getting away from him. There it is, nowhere near the ball.
There's a trio of Manchester City players talking to the referee, Michael Oliver, and I think inquiring as to whether he's brought his cards with him today. We haven't seen one yet. I don't think we've had any reason to be honest.
I think he's refereed the game well.
Footballers, eh? Anything to gain any slight advantage in the game. De Bruyne and Foden. Not a bad choice. It's Phil Foden who pops this one in. Too far.
Yeah, way too much on it from Phil Foden. It was the obvious ball. There's a bit of space between the goalkeeper and the back line of Chelsea. Shake of the head.
He's not stopped. He's just been prowling.
I think it's been a good first half of Pochettino.
Palmer dispossessed. It's come to De Bruyne, and he goes down on the edge, nothing for it. Nearly bounced to Foden anyway. This is Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez. Madueke, it's gone out. Gusto and Madueke, in fact it was offside. Gusto coming back, and City come forward. Grealish is pulled at. Free kick, now there'll be a card, because it's Caicedo again.
Yeah, absolutely. Caicedo, I mean, just fouled Foden, then has a little tug of the shirt of Grealish. So he's going to be under pressure for the rest of the second half, the rest of the first half and all the second half. It's a lovely little 1-2 with Kevin De Bruyne. He just sticks out his arm and grabs the shirt of Jack Grealish.
De Bruyne puts it in. Stones climbs high. Bernardo Silva. Manchester City pushing as we tick into added time at the end of the first half. The ball will go up shortly. De Bruyne. Here we go, 2 extra minutes to play. It's Foden. Twists, turns past Gallagher. Silva. There's just no way through. Now De Bruyne. Not today, not so far.
I think he was just trying to lift it round the back for Jack Grealish to make a run, and Jack Grealish didn't make a run, and also Chelsea had squeezed up the pitch. He's got a bit of work to do at half-time, I think, Pep Guardiola. He doesn't look a happy man at the moment, and his side aren't playing at their very best, that's for sure.
Well, they do usually, if you forgive the obvious pun, pick themselves up after a pep talk. Happens time and again, but Chelsea there doing to Manchester City what Real Madrid did for 2 hours plus the other night. Barring the way with numbers, discipline. Promising for City here, though, that they're starting to find passes and holes of space in the Chelsea half. Time for one last attack, maybe. Pulled out of the air by Gusto. A nice touch back from Madueke. Maybe time for one last Chelsea attack. Gusto's chop. Caicedo. Fernandes. Jackson. Gusto. It's on to Gallagher. Chelsea are flowing. No way through for Gallagher. Here's Madueke. Out of the danger zone by Grealish. Caicedo. Fernandes. 2 minutes of extra nearly up. And that is half-time at Wembley. Chelsea ran out of time with that last sortie forward. Pep Guardiola will try and use his time really keenly over the next 15 minutes by getting a bit more of a tune out of his...
It's a big substitution here that Guardiola has made. Ruben Diaz. I presume he's going to play as the centre-half and allow Akanji to go in midfield, as they did in the game against Real Madrid.
Certainly a straight swap positionally. Diaz on the right of the middle two in the Manchester City defence, and the usual conversation is going on between Pep Guardiola and Juanma Lillo as Chelsea get the game going again. A few empty seats, there's the usual hospitality suspects. They're just ending their snacks before returning to watch what should be a really exciting second half, and maybe more. Goodness me, could Manchester City really go through the prospect of extra time again? Gallagher loses out to Walker, who then just left his foot in. I don't think there was anything intentional in it, but Gallagher was certainly hurt by it.
He cleared the ball away, did Walker. Did he intentionally follow through? Certainly heard the scream. So here's the clearance. Only he will know whether he left his foot there deliberately. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, he's got to lift it high and it's got to come down somewhere. England squad colleagues. Not that that matters today. Rodri, Manchester City making hard work of this. Ortega has shunted it straight to Madueke. Madueke over the top.
Well, not a good start to the second half by Manchester City. Not sure what they were trying to do there. Really difficult for Ortega. Not a good clearance from him. Madueke trying to come back on his favoured left foot. He's a long way off the target. Poor effort in the end.
And Ortega is almost as good as Ederson with the ball at his feet. That's why Manchester City signed him from the relative obscurity of Arminia Bielefeld in Germany. But not then. He didn't want the ball passed back to him like that. It's too short from Alvarez. Pounced upon by Gusto. What a good season he's had for Chelsea. When he's been fit, Malo Gusto has been a very useful addition to their defence. He's had to be with Reece James missing much of the campaign through injury. Palmer fights away for it. Alvarez too, and it's bounced away towards De Bruyne, but Fernandes has got there first. Cucurella, he's got it around Walker. Jackson. Cucurella. No doubt, a 6-0 win against Everton has helped hugely, but Chelsea have so much belief about them. A bit more, it seems, than the FA Cup holders.
And then there's not a very good pass there by Gusto, just giving the ball away. But they also look more energetic at the moment, Chelsea.
And here they go again, with Gallagher now. Cucurella. Fernandes. Gallagher gets it through to Jackson. Jackson in again and saved by Ortega. Palmer. Another chance and another block by Ortega. Jackson, well, he didn't seem to connect with that as though he really thought he'd score. He should have done. Fernandes tries to bring Chelsea on the attack once more. They are gunning for Manchester City here. Palmer. Madueke. Caicedo. Thiago Silva. Offside, Malo Gusto. The City fans are giving it a full chorus of "Come on City," which is their usual go-to chant when their team needs a lift.
Well, two big chances. Gallagher does really well. Now, I think he's worried about Walker coming back with his pace, so he hits it early. And it's a good save again by Ortega, but this is the easier chance. When it comes into the box, he's got to head that either side of the goalkeeper. Has to score there.
Bernardo Silva.
At the moment, City haven't had a shot on target, which says that it's not really going their way at the moment. Chelsea with a 5 on target.
Advantage with them now. Grealish was brought down by Madueke. Here's Rodri on the ball. Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne wins a corner.
Yeah, that's the run he loves to make, but so did the Chelsea players see it. Thiago Silva and Gallagher both getting across there, blocking the cross from Kevin De Bruyne.
Foden will take the corner. Not the first to hit it flat today. A little slip from Foden, but he kept the ball in. Palmer gets it further away for Chelsea. Bernardo Silva. With Ruben Dias.
There's just too many of these Manchester City players at the moment that are maybe 10% off their best. It's allowing Chelsea to have a good part in the game here.
Akanji. Okay. Ortega, a busy goalkeeper in the early stages of the second half. Petrovic hasn't had a save to make. Rodri. Here goes Jackson. Palmer on the move. He's blocked by Ruben Dias. Brilliantly played out, very coolly played out. Bernardo Silva takes over with Walker's assistance. Rodri, this is more like Manchester City. Bernardo Silva. Puts the brakes onto full Fernandes, now De Bruyne. Rodri. Grealish brought into the play. And he goes into the box. And then it's Foden! Petrovic saves now. City's best play of the whole game by a distance. De Bruyne. Have the holders just switched themselves on? Been sparked into life?
Well, they played around the pressure one end. Really good switch of play out to Grealish. Not sure Foden hit it as cleanly as he may have wanted to. Certainly didn't hit it with a lot of power. And it was a good save from Petrovic.
Foden. Comfortably headed away by Gusto. Grealish. Alvarez to De Bruyne. Foden wanted it to run to him. Palmer now will run with the ball at his feet and try and get Jackson running. Kyle Walker's across. Numbers back, it's sky blue. Caicedo. Palmer. Madueke. Forced further away, takes a tumble over the leg of Grealish. It's going to be a Chelsea free kick.
I think he thought about playing it between the legs of Grealish to start with, out to that right-hand side, just there. Grealish just shut his legs in time, but then committed the foul. Here's that chance. Does he make great connection? It's a decent effort, but not right in the corner. Petrovic, you wouldn't have seen it. It had gone past the defender. Gets down really well.
What can Chelsea engineer from this? Palmer's had a look to see where Ortega is standing. And he does have a go, and Ortega was getting across. Chelsea claim a deflection. I must admit, I thought I'd detected one, if not totally seen one, but Michael Oliver didn't.
Well, he tried to beat Ortega at the near post. Only saying that Ortega made a save here. It came off the wall, didn't it? The middle of the wall. Actually went through the wall. Hit one of the Man City players just hit. Oh, could it have been a handball? That's what they might have been talking about.
I think it came off the left arm of Grealish. Oh, look at that. Mauricio Pochettino has a clear view of it.
And his arm is out from his body. I'm sure this will be looked at.
It is. It's being reviewed right now. But Michael Oliver has been told that he can stick to his original decision. So it's clearly been seen as something accidental. David Coote is in the VAR chair today. He didn't need long. That's the plus side of it.
Yep. Well, I think Man City have got away with that one.
By the standards of what we see most weeks.
As his arm was away from his body, and that's usually decides whether it's a penalty or not, or handball or not. And it certainly stopped the ball going goalwards.
Here's Walker. And I don't think Michael Oliver had seen it. So it's not his original decision, it's something he might have missed. Anyway, City press on with Grealish. There's Cucurella. De Bruyne down, and the flag's up. Chelsea free kick.
Yeah, De Bruyne just offside as Akanji headed it down to him. That's a big call by the VAR. Not to ask Michael Oliver to have a look at this. The wall breaks up, and his arm is away from his body, and it certainly hits his arm, there's no doubt about that. Pochettino's right in line with it. Well, he can have a smile now, but that was a dangerous moment for City and Jack Grealish.
Butter wouldn't melt. Michael Oliver Giants gave 3 pens against Manchester City in one game against Leicester a few years ago. It's a bit late to level it up now. Going forward by Chalabar, but it's going nowhere. Another card for Julian Alvarez.
He's just having a word with the referee. I think that man there has got away with it. Doesn't matter whether it was intentional or not. His arm's away from his body.
Well, the arm actually moved towards the ball. Alvarez was delaying the free kick, that's why he was booked. Oh, Kanji makes a meal of clearing. Did finally get it away at the cost of feeling the pain of a late tackle. Grealish. Rodri. De Bruyne. Walker on the run down the right. He'd gone too soon and he knew it. Cucurella. Gallagher. De Bruyne nicks it and puts it out for a throw. Just thinking back those few moments ago, Stuart, there was no great, now this is no measure of right or wrong, we don't want to see indiscipline, but there was no great reaction on the touchline, even though Maurizio Pochettino had a clear view. I bet now they've scrutinised it, they'll be thinking a bit harder about it.
I think we'll be talking about that after the game for quite some while if Chelsea don't win this cup semi-final.
Fernandes cut out by Akanji. Here's Grealish. Grealish goes for the drive. It comes off Chalabar. It's a Manchester City corner.
Never really fancied Jack Grealish when he's shooting from distance. Never really gets that much power in the strike. Chalabar, the player that got the block in.
Grealish has gone out to the edge of the box. Most of the focus in the middle. Petrovic can't get to it. Bernardo Silva. Heading out to Grealish. Grealish dinks a nice one for Alvarez. 3 in the box. That was Akanji. He was second to it though. It's Grealish again here. Madueke wouldn't be beaten, and now it's Jackson who's got the run of Ruben Dias. Jackson into the box. Dias, did he shove him there? He took a risk. Jackson down. Goal kick given.
Now on this occasion, I think the referee's got it right.
Kyle Walker, wasn't it, with his pace, who charged back?
And probably only Kyle Walker would have been the only player on the pitch that may have stayed with him here. And I think it's a fair shoulder barge. Had he made contact with his foot, it might have been a different story, but he didn't. It was almost shoulder to shoulder. And I think the referee got that right.
Looked as though Jackson was away just for a moment. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Grealish. Grealish plays it across, and Chelsea had the numbers. Thiago Silva makes the block.
Good play from Grealish. Don't often see him go down the outside, but he did on that occasion.
Rodri. Really opening up now. Played out by Gallagher. Manchester City throw-in.
Well, there's been two sides to Jackson, isn't there? He looks the most threatening player on the pitch at the moment, Jackson, with his pace and his power. He also hasn't made the most of the opportunities. That's what we were talking about in the first half. It's got to be an end product.
Diaz. De Bruyne. Grealish. De Bruyne.
Yeah, you see that Jackson's had 6 touches in City's box, more than anybody else on the field.
Grealish. Alvarez. Walker. Ake. Grealish swerves past a couple of challenges. Rodri now. There's more energy about Manchester City now. Oh, although De Bruyne is caught on his heels and can't get to that pass.
Not had his best game, Rodri. He's given the ball away cheaply on several occasions, but he's an outstanding player, there's no doubt about that. He's been so important to City. Sure, he'll come to the fore. Grealish has gone down after that last challenge on him.
Jeremy Doku being prepared for action, and he might be taking Grealish's place regardless of this. That's the like-for-like swap. Pep Guardiola might have another idea in mind. Took a kick, didn't he, to the left knee on that area.
Yeah, he did. Caicedo making the clearance. Grealish isn't particularly happy.
Doku came on against Real Madrid on Wednesday to make a difference. The X factor, the chaos theory in operation. A little bit like Jackson for Chelsea.
Yep. You can see why he frustrates the Chelsea fans. Jackson promises so much, but hasn't always delivered. Here's that chance a little bit earlier on. It's going in the corner, but a good save from Ortega. But this is the one he should have scored with. He gets in behind Walker, and it's a fairly tame header.
He is a bottle full of fizzing talent. I'm just waiting for somebody to get the lid off.
Great race, wasn't it, between those two? They can see the funny side of it.
I thought Jackson had him. Anybody else on the field than he would have had. Now Jeremy Doku is coming on for Jack Grealish. Same change that was made on Wednesday night at the Etihad Stadium against Real Madrid, and it worked to good effect for Manchester City. For all that Grealish had a good game in midweek, and he hasn't been too bad today.
No, he's had one of his better games today. But Doku does give them something different, a bit of pace, a bit more direction.
Although sometimes he doesn't know which direction.
Nor does the defender. He's still having to go at somebody, the fourth official, I think. Jack Grealish.
Might be pointed out to him, he was on the rather fortunate side of a decision, a big one. And he's still having words. Now, what's happening here? Michael Oliver's attention's been drawn to it. It's Darren England who's the fourth official. He wants to work with Jackson in the meantime out on the field. Telling him and Akanji to cut out whatever it is they've been up to. The players don't seem to be falling out. And the stress levels will be rising as that clock ticks on. Not far away from the midway point of the second half now. Chelsea throwing. Rodri plays it straight to Chalobah. Given away by Thiago Silva. Bernardo Silva goes first time looking for Alvarez. And Thiago's there for Chelsea. Ake just has to quicken his stride. Saw Gallagher out of the corner of his eye. Walker. Doku brought into the game. Walker. Too much for Jeremy Doku. Palmer. He's away from Akanji, and he's played it through nicely. Caicedo, wrong choice. Was there a ball on for Jackson sooner?
That was on, but also his first touch wasn't particularly good. Didn't get it out of his feet. He should be racing on here and being 1v1 against the goalkeeper. Really good play from Palmer. You see he's onside, guys. So if he takes his touch closer, that's a poor first touch. Gets it stuck under his feet, and then he's got a decision to make, and he makes the wrong one.
Palmer, the architect again. Moises Caicedo hasn't scored for Chelsea yet. We haven't seen him break forward too often like that during his time since signing from Brighton. Here's Madueke. Palmer's crowded out of it. Doku. Super work. De Bruyne to continue it. Foden had to wait for it. It's Rodri to Bernardo Silva. Doku. Bursting into the box. And it's the leg of Georgi Petrovic that keeps him out and stops City taking the lead.
I think Gusto gets a bit lucky as well. He nearly chopped down Doku. Good play by the substitute.
There he is again. Ake. Doku. Played in for Alvarez, he couldn't turn. De Bruyne! He couldn't hit the target.
Much better from Manchester City. Doku did really well down that left-hand side. 1v1 against Gusto. There's the set-up play from Alvarez. He's trying to bend it with the inside of his right foot. How close is this? There's where Gusto nearly brings him down. And Doku's stretching for it. Oh, he gets a right foot to it. It's a bit lucky there, Petrovic.
It looks as though the tricky Belgian winger has again been introduced at the right time by Pep Guardiola. Chalobah clears. And again. De Bruyne. Doku. Ake. Fired across and Chalobah's there to block it. Palmer. Feet in a bit of a tangle, Madueke. City throw. City, for the first time really, with a sustained spell on top. Doku. He's the reason why, and he's won a corner.
It's not only is he going past his man on a couple of occasions, now other players are making runs off of him. See Kevin De Bruyne do it, Akanji did it. They've got some belief now, those Man City fans.
Gusto needs a breather and a bit of attention. He's got a different challenge on his hands now, with Doku running at him, outside, inside. No wonder the knee's feeling a bit twisted.
Well, he knows he's going to be tested now. When you're playing against Jack Grealish, more often than not, he's going to chop it back onto his right foot and not try and go past you with pace. Now Doku can go both ways.
The semi-final in the balance. Semi-final that could be a long way from being decided yet.
Could be in a bit of trouble here, Gusto.
Just a smattering of inflatable bananas amongst the Manchester City fans. They come and go. Something that started in the 1980s. I would imagine a few of those were waved around when you were playing, Stuart.
I think they were.
Initially brought out by fans in tribute to their striker Imre Varadi. There's a name from the past. Corner in, the referee was never happy with it. He's seen a push in the box. Chelsea free kick. He's in keeping with his team for much of the game, not in the last few minutes, but he's just looked a bit sullen.
Yeah, and they haven't looked a happy team out there today. One or two of the players have been arguing with each other. One or two of the players have been arguing with the assistant referee. Well, mainly Jack Grealish on 2 or 3 occasions. Walker did the same when he gave the ball away.
Okay, heavy landing. Caicedo. Kanji. It's fallen to Jackson. Pinch from Jackson. Madueke's follow-up blocked by Rodri. Enzo Fernandez. That's too much of Marc Cucurella. Chelsea just seem to have lost their way going forward a little bit. It can and maybe will come again. It's given away by Julian Alvarez, but he's been fouled in the process. Free kick City.
I think the Chelsea players were claiming that he'd given the ball away and then fell to the ground. It was right in front of Marc Oliver.
Over to Doku. And Gusto will go over to him. De Bruyne. Doku. Gusto in, and he got it right. Ruben Dias climbs above Doku, above Jackson. He's got the ball now. And the referee has whistled again for a Manchester City free kick, with Nathan Ake, the player, hurt. They've taken it very quickly. Ake was still wondering what was going on. It's Alvarez. Doku. Up against Chalobah, who blocks the shot. Gallagher can't get rid of it, though. And out comes Petrovic.
That was good defending by Chalobah. 1v1 against Doku. He knew he was going to come inside and got a really good block in. That's what you were talking about earlier on in the game, when Chalobah just adding that bit of solidity to Chelsea's defence.
Jackson. Cucurella. Gallagher. Flung across to Madueke. Malo Gusto. Corner Chelsea. A corner call disputed by Manchester City, but one they're going to have to defend now.
Akanji did really well to get across there. Gusto had made a really long forward run inside of Madueke. Ortega's gone down.
Just flexing the right foot. And he's mumbling something to teammates that seems to be of some concern.
Nathan Ake, and change of boots for Nathan Ake here. Gusto had made that forward run. He seems okay from his knee injury. And it should be a goal kick, shouldn't it? That's why Man City were complaining so much.
Ake returns. Ortega is still not 100%. And he'll need to be with a corner to be flung in towards him. If that wasn't the plan, it will be now for Chelsea.
Not sure what Walker said to the physio that came on, but he gave him a little wink as if to say, he'll be all right, don't worry about that.
Bit of magic spray, that'll do the trick. Chelsea are preparing a couple of changes of their own, and One of them is not a surprise. Gusto, I think, will be going off in a moment, having picked up an injury. Axel Disasi is getting ready, and Mykhailo Mudryk is also getting last words of instruction as Pep Guardiola contemplates what he must do next. He won't want to put Ederson on today if he can help it.
It doesn't look as though Ederson wants to come on either.
He's not exactly got the green light to warm up. Ortega back to his feet and seemingly okay. Anticipation building in the Chelsea end. It is those Chelsea supporters behind the goal they're attacking. Headed out as far as Caicedo. Now it's Gusto. And it's touched by Palmer, as though he thought he was offside, and in fact the flag had been raised.
Here comes those substitutions you were talking about. Zazi and Mudryk.
Well, we know it's Malo Gusto. I think it's Noni Madueke who's going to give Mudryk a run. He scored a brilliant quarter-final goal against Leicester, did Madueke. Mudryk scored in the previous round against Leeds. Axel Disasi coming on. Well, he scored a ridiculous own goal in the last round against Leicester. No mistakes now. There's two changes made by Mauricio Pochettino. Mudryk to the left, so Palmer to the right. Gallagher more to the right. He was buzzing around Ortega then, perhaps sensing that he might not be fully fit, and still he puts the pressure on, and Chelsea fans applaud his endeavours.
It'll be interesting to see exactly where Gallagher goes. It looked as though he's going to play as the number 10, and Cole Palmer will go to the right-hand side, as you...
I think Palmer's just got clarification he's asking now as Pep Guardiola bangs out some instructions of his own.
Nathan Ake has had more touches than anybody else for Man City, and no surprise that Rodri's close by. So dominant in that central midfield area at times.
I'll tell you who's not on the list, and it's not a surprise. Julian Alvarez. We talk about Erling Haaland sometimes not in the game, and then he scores. Well, must be that central role, because Alvarez would have loved to have been involved a whole lot more than he's been today.
There's always that question mark. Does the centre forward not want to get involved in the general play, or do they not look to play it into him? It's the question mark with Haaland at the moment, and the same can be said about Alvarez today.
Foden. Bernardo Silva. Foden. Ake. Doku. Ake still available if needs be. Doku takes on Disasi. Here's Ake. De Bruyne. Ake into the box. Akanji. Bernardo Silva. Foden. Doku. Rodri. It's Bernardo Silva. And it's come to Akanji. And that was Alvarez. And when he does get the ball in a decent position in the box, it was just too tight, no space, had to dig at it.
Well, how many times do we see this against Real Madrid? These sort of situations where Man City play in and around the box, they play lots of passes, but eventually don't get a shot on target. There was a couple of times throughout that move where a cross could have gone in just that bit quicker. I'll
tell you one thing I have been thinking as this game's gone on, Stuart, there's still lots of talk of should he be there, should it be somebody else, about Maurizio Pochettino amongst Chelsea supporters. They don't look to me like a team that should be 9th in the Premier League. They're a better team than that, and I suspect next season, if he is just allowed to get on with it, I think they will be up there again.
Absolutely, it's been a difficult season for him. He's had to work out, it took him a long time to work out who his best players were, his best formation, because
so many new ones, who they were.
When he joined the club, there were a lot of strangers that had just come in. He had to put them together as a team. He had to understand exactly what the players' strengths and weaknesses were. And maybe we're seeing a change in Chelsea at the moment, in the last few weeks.
I think progress is being made. Ruben Diaz. Doku. It's okay. Doku. Through to De Bruyne. De Bruyne across. It's Bernardo Silva! With a golden moment. The holder's grip on the cup is not being loosened yet.
Well, it all starts with a Kevin De Bruyne run through that inside left channel. And Bernardo Silva, who was maybe about to be brought off, is the player that scores it. He's onside. Kevin De Bruyne plays the ball. Petrovic gets a foot to it, and it takes it straight into the path of Bernardo Silva, who was going to be taken off. Finishes it really well, takes a deflection off Cucurella. It has to go down as Bernardo Silva's goal. And what a moment for the Man City to show their quality. Good play by Doku. De Bruyne making that trademark run. Yes, there's a bit of fortune about where Petrovic boot takes it, but Bernardo Silva at the far post does enough.
That's the Pep cam. A player he was all set to replace with Oscar Bob just a moment ago. That's all on hold for now. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0, and there's not long left.
And it's a bit unfortunate for Cucurella as well, who's had a good game. Haven't seen too much of Bernardo Silva. Cucurella's been excellent.
Oh, here we go. Is it the same change?
You just won us the game, off you come.
I don't see that often. What we are seeing often are deflected Bernardo Silva goals. 2 in the quarter-final against Newcastle. 1 today that, as things stand, is bringing those fans back for another cup final. De Bruyne gives away a free kick. And a little frustrated push on Enzo Fernandez, who he doesn't think is hurt. He's not.
No, I think Enzo Fernandez might have had a little go back as well. Yellow card for both players, I think. Here's the foul. It's a foul by Kevin De Bruyne there. I think Enzo Fernandez might just have a little kick at him.
He did, on the right leg.
Yeah, and then a little push by Kevin De Bruyne, so that's why both players got a yellow card.
Modric. Fernandez, he's got another bit of treatment from Foden, and Ortega is out. That's Thiago Silva, another foul committed. No, it wasn't by De Bruyne, ref's happy enough. Disasi. Gallagher. Nicked away by Doku. Doku shifts away from Gallagher, and Alvarez is on the run through the middle. Here's Foden first. And Thiago Silva finds Disasi, who will clear. Pep Guardiola's on the pitch there. He is screaming at his players. He's not happy with something. Michael Oliver's just going to delay the game and tell Pep to get back in his box, literally.
I'm not sure. I think he's upset with Phil Foden. That's who he's shouting at. That's the player to use his head. He's had an absolute go at Phil Foden here, and he's still going.
Goodness me. There is a change. It's not Bernardo Silva, it's Alvarez to go off for Oscar Bob. but Bob's on. You've ever been on the receiving end of one of those? I bet you have.
At some point, yeah. Don Howe gave me one of those at some point.
Chelsea changes. Ben Chilwell is on for Cucurella. That's a straight swap, and Enzo Fernandez is going off. On comes the former Sky Blue, now in Royal Blue. It's Raheem Sterling. Won the lot with Manchester City, 339 games, 132 goals. Chelsea need a goal from him against his old team now.
They certainly do. He's going to go onto that right-hand side. Raheem Sterling. Does mean that Gallagher's going to play a little bit deeper. And Palmer will go infield in the number 10 role behind Jackson.
Here's the Chelsea number 10, Mudryk. Chilwell. The clock says 88 minutes. When do Chelsea change things up and really go for the gamble? Well, here's Palmer. Easy enough for Ortega.
Well, there's going to be a lot of talk about that handball that wasn't a given against Jack Grealish. Should the scoreline stay like this, there's going to be a lot of talk about Jackson not taking his chances.
Pep Guardiola now is like a cat on hot bricks. But when he comes to life, his team does. Mudryk. Now here's Chilwell, and look at the run of Sterling. Can Chilwell pick him out? No. The ball had to be played sooner.
Well, what a chance for Chilwell to play the ball into Sterling. Sterling was away. He just didn't get his head up. Chilwell, he's only just come on the pitch. There's to Sterling, but what an opportunity there.
Mudryk to take the corner. The board will be interesting. We're going to see it in a few seconds. Ortega with a call of keeper. It was done for him by Walker. No free kick as Mudryk takes it up again. Chalobah will have to give up the chase, and here we go. There will be at least 8 more minutes to play. 8 minutes left for Mauricio Pochettino to see his Chelsea team score.
And his team, certainly the better side in that first half. They had the chances. Bit of hope for the Chelsea fans behind the goal to our left-hand side. There's the man that's separating them at the moment. Hasn't had one of his more influential games, but what a good goal it was from a Man City point of view.
That's Walker. Bob. Lovely touch for Foden. Gallagher. Mudryk. Now Sterling. Rodri orders him out of the way. De Bruyne. Doku. And Doku gets past the challenge so easily, but the return from De Bruyne is not weighted correctly.
Of all the players to get the weight wrong on that pass, it was Kevin De Bruyne. How many times have we just seen him roll that into the next player's feet? But Doku has certainly made a difference, hasn't he? He's been excellent.
That's been the substitution. Petrovic, Chilwell will have to work there, and he has. He's giving it away now, Bernardo Silva. Bob. Rodri trying to tee up De Bruyne. Chalobah got in the way. Just one word on Pep Guardiola's team and the Manchester City head coach himself, Stuart. After what they put in on Wednesday, they've not been at their best today, but if they find a way to win this, it says much about something else they've got in addition to their undoubted talents.
Belief, spirit. Yes, the got great quality. They've shown a lot of determination today. As you said, they haven't been at their best. And you saw how Pep Guardiola was so irate with Phil Foden. They're the standards they set at Manchester City.
Foden's caught by Gallagher. Advantages with Rodri. Doku happy to wait for it. De Bruyne. I'd love you to analyse what that was all about with Foden, but I can't remember there was so much going on.
Well, he tried to play a forward pass and gave it away. It actually went to Alvarez, but it wasn't played with the right weight, and Pep Guardiola was saying, just keep hold of it in that situation. Use your head.
A bit like Bernardo Silva's doing there.
But he didn't just say it once or twice, he said it about 10 times. And it did look as though it rattled Phil Foden.
Here's Bob. Flags up here. It's a free kick for Chelsea. Chelsea have 4.5 minutes left to find a goal. It's Thiago Silva. Bernardo Silva. I don't see an up and under from him very often. De Bruyne. A real tussle going on with Caicedo. Sterling. City's throw. He's just about restored his equilibrium. Kevin De Bruyne might not have had his passing range working to maximum effect today, but he's been a battler.
And he affects the game. He'll always find a way of getting involved. He'll always find a way of trying to get that next pass forward. A lot of the Man City players, they're all very good players, will keep possession. De Bruyne is the one player that looks to penetrate. And it was his run and cross that created the goal.
He's dragged up some reserves of energy too. On the ball again, he seems to be magnetised to it now. Doku. Burst past Disasi. De Bruyne. Well, for a team that were taken 2 hours and then to penalties in the week by one of the other greatest teams in the world, they seem to have got better as this game's gone on.
And they found that bit of inspiration.
Foden tried desperately to bring Chilwell down. Finally, he is caught by Bernardo Silva. Chelsea free kick. They've got to get the numbers up. It's not a time for finesse from here. In the old days, it was straightforward. This sort of situation, you get it up into the box. You load up front. Doesn't happen so much now.
Needs a good delivery here. Manchester City are trying to hold a fairly high line. There's a lot of space in between them and Ortega.
It's Palmer with a lazy swing of that left boot. Thiago Silva jumps for it. Gallagher. Nicked away by Bob. Doku with De Bruyne in support and Oscar Bob coming too. Here's De Bruyne. Into the corner, is it? Yes, it is. Loses out to Chalobah.
For all that we've said that he hasn't been at his best today, Kevin De Bruyne has done a lot of other good things. He has just been voted man of the match.
Well, there we are. Shows what his standards are like normally. If we don't think he's been 100% and still the best player on the field, that tells you about Kevin De Bruyne. Palmer. Chalobah. Thiago Silva finds Ben Chilwell. Mudryk. Walker eats up the ground, leans into Mudryk. That one is given as a push rather than shoulder to shoulder, and Chelsea have one last chance to get the right ball into the box and to finish it.
And he didn't need to have the push either. He'd beaten Mudryk for pace here. He got there first, or was going to get there first, and he gives him a slight nudge. That's about all. He can't believe it, can he, Walker?
Much different to the earlier one.
Nothing different about that at all. Now, this is the big moment.
City want to bring Kovacic into the match. Free kick first. It's Mudryk. And it's over everybody, and that should do it. If there's time, they're going to bring Kovacic on. There might not be. And Mauricio Pochettino knows time's up.
Well, that couldn't have been any worse, could it, for Chelsea? Mudryk with the free kick, overhits it, out of play on the other side of the field. The danger over, and with it, a lot of Chelsea fans walking away.
Ortega will take his time. Michael Oliver has his whistle ready. He's just giving the goalkeeper the hurry up at first. This will be played wide and long. And Manchester City fans decide they don't need to see any more. They're doing the Poznan in celebration. Up goes Chilwell. Bernardo Silva's header. Petrovic. Helped on. Time up for Chelsea. For Manchester City. Their time as the custodians of the FA Cup continues. They're into yet another final. Their double dream is still alive. Pep Guardiola is close to tears with a huge smile of satisfaction at seeing his team of stars go to the well, dig deep and find what they needed to find a way to win. That's what it's been like today. And after the week they've had, the effort they've put in, that is a monumental achievement.
Well, today wasn't just about good football, it wasn't about their technical ability, their tactical understanding. Today was about their desire, their hunger, their ability to overcome what was a disappointing result on penalties in midweek, and they've done it. And you can see by the way they're celebrating here, this was a massive game for Guardiola and his players.
Chelsea, well, their players are disconsolate. Nicholas Jackson had the best of their chances. He couldn't put them away. He couldn't really test Stefan Ortega. They will point to a really strong shout for a penalty early in the second half when Jack Grealish in the defensive wall at a free kick seemed to block it with his hand. It wasn't seen by the referee. It wasn't overruled by the VAR. That's what Chelsea will have to complain about. They put in a pretty good performance overall, just lacking in the final third of it. Much to promise from Chelsea for the future. But in the present, their FA Cup run is over, and the holders go on. It's Manchester City 1, Chelsea 0.